and a motive continues. Joining me now is Jack Jupin. He's former Joint Terrorism Task Force Supervisory Special Agent, and it's good to have you here, sir. Let me just get your updated thoughts here. Now we're 24 hours since the initial devices were found, more found today. Your thoughts?
Thank you for having me, Dana. Dana, right now the FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force is working tirelessly with our partners, NYPD, of course, other local, state, county, and federal partners. All the evidence is being examined thoroughly. Leads are going out. The command post, I'm sure, is up and running 24/7 in the New York City field office. My old field office, the Newark Division, I'm sure will have a parallel command post because of the proximity to New York City as well. Not to mention all the other cities where you're finding this. Hundreds of agents, police officers, detectives are working this around the clock.
So many resources just across the local, state, and federal governments. It's incredible how many people are on it. I wanted to have you listen to former Marine, retired Marine, Joey Jones. He was a bomb technician there. We had him on yesterday. I want to get your take on what he said here.
What you're looking for is the same thing a forensics crime lab would look for. Is there any path behind these components? That looks like there's an electrical box. Does it have a serial number? Where was it sold? Who manufactured it? Where are they available? And then more obvious things, fingerprints left on tape.
Jack, since the authorities do have several packages now that did not explode, so they have the evidence, what do they know today that they didn't know yesterday, and how much closer might they be to trying to at least get a lead as to who's responsible?
Well, we're playing catch up right now because, again, we had more devices found today. But as your previous guest had mentioned, he is absolutely correct. All these packages are being examined not only by the NYPD, the FBI bomb technicians are also working tirelessly around the clock. And as he stated, looking for trace evidence, DNA, latent fingerprints, both on the devices, on the packages as well. Any other type of evidence is also being looked at, such as video surveillance. I know one of your guests mentioned there's a lot of video out there,
right.
and that's absolutely true. And a lot of the videotapes are very thorough today. New York City especially has more video than ever before since the events of 9/11. So I feel that right now there's hundreds and hundreds of agents and detectives running tirelessly throughout the night and the day until they can track down every single lead to try and bring this to a close.
We obviously we have very little information about who is responsible for it. Obviously, those are things. There are so many things that we do not know right now. But would you agree with someone I read this morning said that the devices look rudimentary but functional, but they were also unstable and they could have gone off just by handling. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does. It makes total sense. They do appear to be rudimentary. Obviously, I'm not plugged into the investigation anymore, but it does not look like a professional device. In a lot of instances, if someone wanted those devices to go off, they would have gone off if they were truly a professional.
Let me ask you also about the President of the United States and local law enforcement, the Governor of New York, everyone asking citizens to be vigilant, but to also be patient. The goal of anyone who's perpetrating something like this is to elicit fear from people. What other advice might you have for citizens who are watching all of this unfold and might be a little concerned?
Absolutely. Vigilance is our #1 asset we have. The FBI, the local police, the state police, all the county, all the law enforcement rely solely from individuals popping up and telling us what is going on and calling us and calling our hotlines. There's no better piece of intelligence than human intelligence when someone can contact us and firsthand have either witnessed something that they saw happen or an individual, a description. And once they give us a description or they can place somebody at a certain time and place, then we can go backtrack and take a look at video that may have caught that individual on camera at one place or another.
All right, Jack Jupin, thanks for your expertise and for being here today. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Dana, for having me.